This conference will now be recorded.
Unless you want to speak. Otherwise, background noise will interfere with the meeting. As Vice Chair of the Tilton Select Board, due to COVID-19 coronavirus crisis and in accordance with the Governor Sununa's Emergency Order Number 12 pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this board is authorized to meet electronically, and these reasons shall be reflected in the minutes. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to the meeting, which was authorized pursuant to Governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, this is to confirm that A, we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone. Members of the public wishing to attend this meeting electronically may call the following conference call at 1-866-899-4679, access code 817-026-717. B. Additional public access by video or other electronic means will be available as follows. We are using the GoToMeeting platform for this electronic meeting. All members of the board have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to temporarily listen and, if necessary, participate remotely using your smartphone, tablet, or computer at global.gotomeet.me/town-of-Tilton/Selectmen. This information can also be found on our website at tiltonnh.org under Meeting Schedule and Agendas Board of Selectmen. C. We are providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public on how to access the meeting via telephone conference and by GoToMeeting, and instructions are provided on the Tilton Town website at tiltonnh.org in the town kiosk, at the town kiosk. D. We are providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting that a member of the public wishes to speak to or be recognized during any public comment or public hearing. If you are a member of the public, listen in and have questions, please write your questions down, and at the end of each agenda item, I will ask if there are any questions from the public before we move on to the next agenda items. Please state your name and address, and then if you... Hold on a minute. If you are a member of the public listening in and having questions, please write your questions down, and at the end of each agenda item, I will ask if there are any questions from the public before we move on to the next agenda item. Please state your name and address, and then ask your question. E. We are providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are any problems with access. If anybody has a problem, please email me, web@tiltonnh, which will be monitored during the meeting. F. We will adjourn the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. If in the event the public is unable to access the meeting, we will adjourn the meeting and have it rescheduled at that time. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance when each member states their presence. Also, please state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. So I'll start. I'm Pat, and there's one in the room with me. Eric?
Fog.
Oh, go ahead, Pete.
Fog present, 2 dogs in and out of the room.
Okay. Eric?
Pyra here, and I am at work, and there's various people around.
Okay. And who else do we have online with us?
Marina Sumner from Parks. I'm alone.
Okay.
Chief Cormier, and I'm alone in my office.
Okay.
Ellie Janini, and I'm alone in my office.
Jeannie Forrester, alone in my office.
Okay. And Joe is supposed to be coming online, correct?
He said he was. I called him.
All right. All right, we'll continue. So this meeting is solely for the discussion of the parade, We have an alternative to discuss. So Marina, do you want to take the lead, or what do you want to do?
Yes, one moment. Let me just pull up an email that was sent to everyone from Bob Hardy last night in regards to our Plan C that we discussed with Bob Cormier in regards to at Tanger Outlet to stage and line the floats up, have them park around the perimeter. Coming in the property of Tanger Outlet off of 132, the citizens can therefore drive through the center of the mall, passing between the businesses. I'm just trying to get a gist here of the email. Bob Cormier can help me in regards to giving the specifics. That way the floats can be around the inside of the perimeter of Tanger Outlets and the citizens to do a drive-through. They can come in off of the 132 and leave the same way. Approximately line up at 3:30, probably on the other side of the police station of the Tanger Outlet parking area. Hopefully it sounds good to everyone. At about 3:30, start the, well, not the parade. We could call it something totally different. Tilton holiday drive-through. Hopefully start that at about 4:30 once we get everyone placed. And hopefully, I would say about an hour. Eric Prue, who is the manager of Tanger Outlet, is all for it. And I am hopeful that it can happen. I'm happy to call everyone and relay to them for the floats that they can do this. I appreciate it. Bob, would you like to speak more in regards to it?
No, I think that covers it, Marina. I think it was just to take off on John's idea of doing like a reverse parade and letting people just drive by the floats. And that seemed like a much safer idea. And as long as Eric Prue's on board with it, then I would be as well.
I'm gonna give just a couple of seconds because John is trying to dial in to explain. Eric,
I'm losing everyone.
Eric, do you have any comments?
Do we have an email or some sort from Eric Prue that he's on board with this? Because I've heard two different things here. I've heard that he's on board from Marina, and then I've heard from the chief that if he's on board. I don't have clarification, so I would like something from Eric Prue that if this is going to go on his property, that he's okay with it.
Chief, is he on board, or is what?
So originally, when we spoke with him before the downtown idea came out, Eric said he was on board for anything at Tanger Outlets and wanted to help. And he was very supportive. I can try and see if he can call in, Eric, if that would help.
So wait, so he was on board at what point?
He was on board to do anything related to the Christmas parade at Tanger Outlets.
Before yesterday.
Yeah, but I haven't spoken with him since yesterday. So I can try and have him call in, Eric, or have him send an email to everybody.
Thank you.
Peter, do you want to say something?
I've been for every option. I'm still for this one. We should do something for the public.
So here's where I stand on this one. I was for the other one as well. We are going to change the venue, which is tradition, the venue going from Union Sanborn downtown. Usually in the Christmas parade, we don't get very many people going down Elm Street crossing the bridge. The bulk of the people are contained down Main Street, and the original was to have them stay in their vehicles. Riverfront is closed, so the bulk of the people would be downtown in their vehicles or in the parking lot at T-Hop or Elm Grove or by the tack shop. And then it spreads out because there's no parking along the route except when you get up to Kettlehead, and now you've contained a traditional route in that small space in downtown where it has always been there. Now we want to reroute it, which, by the way, I'm in favor of that. Now we want to reroute it last minute to a place over to Tanger, which is busy in itself on a weekend with Christmas now, because now we're behind. Now we're the weekend after the official opening of Christmas shopping, and now we're going to go into that parking lot, which is a very iffy intersection. So we're going to send all the floats up Main Street to get to Tanger Outlet, and then have all our vehicles go up there to get to the parade. So we have a traffic issue going in there. And then now we're trying to rearrange the parking lot itself at 5 o'clock at Tanger when all of the businesses are closing. Well, that some of them aren't closing, some of them are still open. So you're going to have to rearrange vehicles in the parking lot. The businesses are still open. So to me, that there's a logistics problem there. I'm still in total favor of bringing it downtown because I get that you want to have a plan C and bring it up to Tanger and have it off site and just have a drive around and have a parade. At any means, we really need a parade for the public. I get that, and I would really like that for the public, but I think it's more controlled if we have it downtown than if we have it at Tanger. That's my own personal opinion, and I would be more in favor to do that than I would to have it at Tanger. Any thoughts? Marina, Ellie, Eric, Peter, Chief?
I have lots of thoughts, but I don't know what order to put them in. How do you prevent people that are at the outlets from removing their masks and walking through the parade route?
Well, that's a good thought too, Eric, because I read the governor's order. The governor says that the state of New Hampshire must mask up in public. However, if you're 6 feet away from somebody else, you can take that mask off. So you have to be really careful, because if you're 6 feet away watching the parade, you can stand technically and watch that parade without a mask, according to the governor.
I'm not sure what to think, to be honest, anymore. Bob Cormier, what are your thoughts for being the health person?
So I was envisioning that it might be able to park up by the Old Navy, kind of up in the front where the craft fair was, and that way there, people it wouldn't be easy to walk down to it and have people just drive by it was my vision. But I do agree. I'm trying to make this as safe as possible, and I think wherever we put them, we want to try to deter people from foot traffic from going up to them and make it an event that people can drive by it, like John said, a reverse parade. And Eric's actually trying to call in. I'm trying to get him the link right now from Tanger.
So what are people's thoughts about, Eric, you had some more thoughts, and I'm sorry, we kind of interrupted you.
Well, no, I'm worried about keeping. I'm worried about keeping people safe. That's my whole. I mean, how are we going to measure 6 feet if someone's walking around and they take their mask off? How are we going to measure 6 feet away? It comes down to that. I like the idea of people driving through. I thought that was a great idea, but now when I think about the business, the mall is still open. People are going to come and go. It's going to be busy. It's a Saturday. I think they close at 7, so there's going to be people there. And how do we keep the participants safe? How do we keep the people attending the parade safe?
Well, what about keeping it down Main Street where there's only a couple that would be open? It would only be Casamigo and T-Hops open.
If we said last night that there's 50 people, if 50 cars show up, if I'm the 51st car, how do I get to see the parade? I can't. If there's no parking for me, I can't go technically. So we're going to have a parade for 100 people? Or 200 if there's 4 people?
Is there going to be parking along up by Kettlehead in the church and the Masons Lodge up in there too? Where does the parade stop? Does it stop technically at the high school or?
So usually that parade would pass Riverfront Park and stop. It would technically go all the way up to the high school and stop at the high school, Pat, because that's where we would tell people to get picked up.
So you have the church and the Mason Lodge in possibly the school to park because you could have them go down towards the opposite side of the middle school and have them drive through there towards Deer Street.
Can I make a point of order?
Mm-hmm.
I think we were supposed to be discussing Plan C. Plan C is involving the Tanger outlets and not
We're
rerouting
supposed
it.
to be discussing the parade. If you want to,
I was given that this was to discuss Plan C.
And I would just say that that's a conversation I had with all 5 selectmen last night. So
the parade is the parade. I mean, if anything can, if there's options and deviations from the plan or enhancements to the plan, that can be discussed in the meeting.
Pat, it looks like Eric Prue joined us. If anyone had questions for Eric too.
Hi, Eric.
Oops.
Anyone have any questions for Eric? Eric, they're just concerned about the permissions for doing this parade route at Tanger.
Okay, hi. It's definitely an option if we can do this in an orderly fashion that everybody approves.
Are the stores still open? Will the stores be open when the parade is going on?
Yeah, so that call, I was on that call the last time or earlier this week, and I thought I heard something about 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Can somebody confirm the time?
Marina,
Yes, 4:30 to start.
4:30.
Okay, so on that date, we are open till 9 p.m., which is the 5th. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're open till 9 o'clock that evening. However, as we all know, generally speaking, with the situation at hand, traffic, I think, and just in any community is less than average. But it is the holiday season, so we're not sure what to expect. Could it be a full parking lot and we have nowhere to put anybody? Maybe. Could it not be a full parking lot and we have plenty of room for everybody? Certainly. But the center is open till 9 o'clock.
Eric, what they were thinking was trying to park the vehicles in the parade, just park them somewhere and let folks drive by it.
Uh,
And so kind of a reverse parade situation. John brought it up in the last call.
Yep.
And the only place I could think of doing something like that was up by Old Navy near the front, near Laconia Road.
Huh.
And so what's your thoughts on trying to do like a reverse parade there?
Yeah, and how many floats do we know? Confirmed?
Marina, how many
Between 20 and
confirmed floats?
25.
Yeah, so you'd need quite a bit of space. I mean, we could
I'm sorry, my
potentially.
tablet keeps freezing everyone, so if I miss something, I'm sorry.
So you could potentially use that area of Old Navy at this point, but I don't think it's going to fit all those floats. You could use the back parking lot between us and the field and kind of the J. Jill area for some additional space to get people really to drive around. But it won't be a one clean swoop in and out. You'd have to get them to drive everywhere.
So that would be even more difficult to arrange this if you're going to have to do it twice.
In two different areas. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that
If you're
brings us.
asking me or talking to me, I didn't hear a thing.
So what
Everything
Eric
is freezing on me.
Marina, what Eric is saying is because of the volume of the volume of the floats, the time of day, and the time of year, you're going to have to go in twice or from two different directions to get all of the floats going in and out. So that's going to be encumbersome if we try that for the parade because there's too many floats to go in and out in one swoop.
And it's not my place to say, but is Sanborn Road off the path that you couldn't hold it going down that route at all?
And then
More,
into Tanger.
I mean, I don't know. Just generally speaking, it just seems to be so much more space. I mean, that's how we hold our 5K road race, and I know it's blocked off for quite some time, but I mean, there's so much space you could park on both sides of the road, and I don't know, it just goes for miles.
Chief, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I don't know how that would, work out as far as, people being able to see it. I guess they could just park on the side of the road, would have to message it that way. I was thinking about your idea about that back parking lot, Eric, by your office.
Yep.
And I thought maybe if the floats lined up on both sides of that back parking lot, then everyone could drive through there and they'd get to see all the floats. It would be dark enough back there so all the lights would show up
Yeah.
as option, and it wouldn't interfere with the shopping.
Right. I mean, you could do that. As long as you, I mean, I don't know the size of the floats or how you'd have it positioned, but that definitely is a viable option.
It wouldn't be that if there's 25 floats, it wouldn't fit in that back parking lot. Chief?
Yeah, I think the only way you could do it is if you lined them up on both sides from the roadway in by Eric's office. Some of them might extend past your office, Eric.
Yeah.
But that's the only place I could think of other than by Old Navy.
And then you would have the traffic coming in from Sanborn Road and driving into the outlet.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the easiest, and then they could just pass through the mall and head back out.
I think we're asking for trouble. I think we should just go back to the original and go downtown and try to contain it.
I'm looking at that back area on Google Earth. If you have people enter from 132 Sanborn Road, you line up, and if we limit it, let's say if we have a maximum of 20. Marina, what did you say the number of floats was? 25?
20 to 25. Yep.
So let's set a max at 25. If you measure that out, Eric, could that back section be toned off or reserved? I hate to take away parking spaces from you at this time of year.
Yeah.
You know, maybe an hour or 2
So-
hours, I don't know.
Yeah. So that could be coned off. I mean, again, the good indication of what the holiday season is going to look like is going to start Friday. So we're going to find out what people are doing or not doing. Hopefully they are doing. But that back parking lot outside of typically the Thanksgiving weekend, we have full use of.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know if it snows, all bets are off because that's where you put a lot of snow.
No, we don't actually. We haul every snowstorm, and now we just leave it stockpiled in the front of the center until the haulers come in that same evening or the next day. So we don't stockpile back there anymore.
Okay. I thought they used to block off up near.
Yeah,
Windsor.
long time ago we did. We don't do it anymore.
So, my thought is if we take 132, make that the entrance, direct people kind of make it one way. And then they line the floats up there. People drive through. They don't get out of the car. It's less likely to get pedestrians, and then they can go enjoy the mall. Line them up there. It's a perfect spot for it, if you ask me.
That's a big ask because we don't have control over 132.
What do you mean we don't have control over 132?
It's a state road.
So
We
is
don't
Main
have
Street.
the ability to close off. We don't have the authority to close off the state road for a parade unless we get
Off the
permission.
state road. Make that the entrance for the parade. The entrance into the Tanger outlet from 132. That's the entrance. We can control people not exiting that way because we can put Chief Cormier can put a police officer up near that and send people down behind the outlets to come out by the Irving station, and they go that way. It's one way for a couple of hours, and that's where the parade goes. People come in from 132. We use the directional board that we have. They send them down that way, and then they go into then they exit out the plaza. This way, we get people into the plaza, into the mall, and where it goes.
So how are you going to get the trucks and floats in there?
They park in the parking spaces. They have to be there at a certain time, whatever that time is, 3:30, 3:45. They have to be there. If they're not there by that time, well, too bad.
So which way did they come in, Eric?
They come in from 132.
Which way 132 though? That's what I'm asking. Do you
Yeah,
want
they
them
just
to come in both ways?
No, the floats are in the parking spaces and people drive through. It's still a reverse parade. I don't know. I'm looking at Eric. Do you know how many spaces are? I'm going to say it looks like there's 50 spaces back there at least.
Yeah, there are.
So I mean, it's 50 spaces. If we give 2 spaces per person or per float, that's 25 floats.
Some of them have long trailers that are, 15 feet long trailers.
Well, if they're parking on the ball side and field of that, according to Google Earth, there's like a little tongue of pavement as that leads up to the maintenance shed for
Yes.
for Tanger. They can use that little bit of, the extra length. The spaces are 20 feet in length anyways, or 18 feet. Because I'm sure the Tanger outlet is complying with the parking regulations for the town of Tilton, so. And they come in, they drive in, they look at the float, they look at the thing, and out they go. It alleviates my concern of people congregating, that's for sure.
But then they're going to go shopping, so they're going to congregate anyway. So it doesn't alleviate your concern.
I see it as if the Tanger outlet is going to give us the space, let's bring people into their space. They're going to go shopping, they have to follow the rules anyways, masks and things like that. The whole idea of not having it on Main Street was you were very limited on the number of people being able to go, and being able to go to the parade. You're only able to have so many people, 50 cars parked
Downtown, but you still have other places where they can park along the parade route.
You're taking away from the businesses in downtown. You're taking away the businesses of the restaurants by taking up all the parking spaces at prime time, where there appears to be, well, hopefully.
We've done that for 20 years of Christmas parades.
But we didn't have everyone park downtown. They could park anywhere. Then they could stand alongside the road. Here,
Eric, during the parade, the road is closed. We take away from the businesses anyway. During that time, 2 hours.
I like the idea of Plan C coming in off of 132. And all the floats are in the parking spaces. People shopping, that's up to them individually. That's a decision that they make. I'm sure that the chief can get, we don't even have to close 132, but that's the way people are coming in.
Chief, what's your feelings about it?
I just had a quick question, Pat. With you had mentioned downtown, could you just say the area again downtown? I was trying to see where you were thinking.
So if we had the traditional downtown, started at Union Sanborn, had them park downtown, also parking at Elm Grove, also parking at the old, at T-Hop and the old post office, the municipal parking, the tack shop, the church, where the Methodist church is, along with the Whole Child, the Ark, not the Whole Child, the Ark. And then across from Kettlehead, you're going to get at least 50 cars there, at least 50 cars there. So you're still going to go along that route. Plus, you're going to have all the people at Union Sanborn all lined up there on that road, those two roads that are the side roads there that they usually do, plus on the road that the Northfield Town Hall is, that intersection, they're going to be lined up there and out of their vehicles there. So I don't think that you're going to be for what is the parade, maybe an hour that you're going to have, and it's downtown. People usually go into Onions, Casamigo, and T-Hop afterwards. Hopefully up to Tanger afterwards, shopping with the family. I think that rather than change it, it's in the newspaper as downtown. All the newspapers, I understand. I read it today at the Laconia Sun that it's downtown. So there's going to be an awful lot of communications out there to get everybody to know that it's now going to be at Tanger. And not only that, you're going to have to reconfigure and sit with Eric to really figure out how many spaces you're going to need for all of these floats. Some of them have 16-foot, 20-foot trailers on them, that along with a pickup or a dump truck that's associated with it. So trying to figure out 20 to 25 floats in that spot and then reconfigure how many people are going in and out of Tanger. Well, you've already heard my spiel. I think that which is less, I want it to happen, so whatever it takes to get it to happen, I'm going to vote for it. But I prefer the less it takes to happen. We've already put it out there in the newspaper that this is what we're going to do. I mean, is it less of a chance this way, or is it more of a chance this way? I don't know. Either way.
Sure. So, Pat, if I can just speak for a second. One of the things when this came up and we were trying to think of alternatives, it made me think of some of the escorted things that we did for high school seniors back in the spring.
Hmm.
And, we've escorted a lot of charity motorcycle rides, and we get a lot of special events through town from point A to point B with just simply a front and rear escort. And I toss that out there as an option where it doesn't kind of focus on one particular area. I think of when the seniors graduated and there was no such thing as a parade and anyone couldn't get together. We just escorted a bunch of cars with balloons through town, and it seemed to work safely. And I didn't see anyone really gathering along the route, and we might be able to do something like that if everyone was accepting of that. If the group met at Tanger Outlets and was gonna go to the high school and just needed a police escort from point A to point B, we could do that. So I just toss that out as an option to
So
everyone.
take it around town where people can just know that this is where it's going to be.
Yeah, I remember taking, and you might remember it too. Many years ago, I'm thinking it was like back in '09 or something. We escorted. I felt like it was 100 tow trucks through the entire town of Tilton. Do you remember that,
Yep,
Pat?
yep, I do.
I mean, these were big tow trucks. They came across from the whole state. They
Yep,
lined up on 140, and we took them by Camaro Heaven.
yes, yep,
And
I do.
I
For
thought that was
Chuck's
going to be
dad.
a hard, yeah, I thought it was going to be a hard task, but it was actually very easy to do. And so something like that might be an option. But whatever you decide, we'll work with it. We can make the traffic piece happen with either option, I guess.
I went and I counted here on one side, on the ball field side of the parking spaces. There are, going up to the maintenance shed, it looks like there's about 40 spaces on that one side. So even if you did 20, 2 per space, and then on the other side, it's going to mirror. So you have 80 parking spaces that you could park floats and have people drive through. This meeting was called to discuss Plan C. Plan C is at the Tanger outlets. You announce to people that this is on there. You make radio announcements. I'm sure that we can get some local radio stations to make announcements bringing up the change. You put it on social media. I'm sure the Tanger outlet would promote it as well. And you get people very specifically, you get them to come in off of 132. They drive through the floats and then off they go.
Eric, you're adamant about it. Is there a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion that we hold the Christmas parade at a reverse Christmas parade at Tanger Outlets with using the football side parking, that the 132 entrance parking spaces as designated through Tanger outlets.
I have a question.
That's your motion. Hold on a minute, Marina. Do I hear a second?
Bog, second.
Okay, Fogg is second. Go ahead, Marina, discussion?
What if they all don't fit in that one particular area that Eric the Selectman would like them at?
Good question. What
I think
happens if they don't fit?
we
Eric Prue and
we-
the chief, you want to respond to it?
You want me to respond to that?
Sure.
We can take up more space that goes closer to shopper services. You do have that extended area, so you could take up more space if needed. Again, I just throwing that out there. It's whatever you guys come up with for confirmation, but you can take up more space if needed.
So you're willing to accommodate us and work with
Yes.
us and take up some more space?
Yeah,
Okay.
especially if you can use that back area. But
Okay.
yes.
Marina, did you hear Eric?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Are you satisfied with that answer?
Yes, I just hope that we can fit them all. I mean, an example of a school bus. How many parking spaces that takes?
It's 42.
A tractor trailer. So, okay, we'll
Do you have tractor trailers?
make it work with a monster truck on it.
You have a tractor trailer with a monster truck coming?
Yes. Rusty's usually bring a big truck. My box usually has an oversized float. Camara Heaven, I don't know if they're going to do a pickup along with a trailer. White Tiger Karate usually has a pickup with a good size trailer on it. So we're talking quite a few. AutoServe usually provides 4 cars. Benson Auto is 2 to 4 cars. I'm just looking at my list. Spalding Youth Center, they are bringing one of their vans or / bus. Subaru, that's another vehicle. The town truck, all the fire trucks, rescue squads, any extra police cars. So it's quite a few. And whoever else, I know Water LaChance is putting one of their vehicles in, so that possibly is a van / truck. So they're not all small size vehicles like my Kia Soul. Which, you know, I'll need to park somewhere. Ellie will probably need to park somewhere. Bob Hardy, Bill Lawrence, police chief.
I'll just get dropped off, Marina.
Oh, a lot of parking spaces.
So that's a good point. Where would we put the people that are actually working? Can we arrange a place for them to park in an area?
the new police station.
So I was thinking.
Chief?
Yeah, I think they could park along 132, or there are some spaces in front of the new station too. I was just taking a look at it.
You could always park behind building 100, or you could always park behind building 200. There are lined spaces, and they're just one right after the other, parallel to the back of the buildings.
And you can get out that way too. You
Yes.
just drive all the way around and you come out by the 99.
Yeah, you can get in and you can get out.
And that could also be an exit route for people coming to see the parade. They just follow around the building and go out to the side of the outlet. So they don't necessarily have to go into the outlets if they choose not to. They can just go straight out.
Okay,
I would just say on one last note on our behalf is whoever has time, I know time is of the essence now, but somebody would want to physically go out there and verify that what you just described as possible entrance, and I don't mean in and out, I mean the participants will actually fit into the spots that you guys are have been discussing.
Mm-hmm.
so are we gonna have, we
Yeah.
don't have any time to meet again if they don't fit in that spot, in that space. So are we gonna come up with a plan D if we don't, if they don't fit up there? So that this parade can continue?
Marina, are you available tonight around 6:30?
Okay. For,
I'm happy to meet you there at 6:30 tonight. And Peter Fogg.
well, let's see if we can get Bob Hardy. Also, he is the chairman. I know he's been working, so that's why he couldn't be on here at 3.
That, again, that's great, but that's not gonna help us now to reconvene another meeting before the parade and come up with the plan D, if in fact that fails, which I hope it doesn't.
Right,
So,
I agree, Pat.
so
I
I
have a
just,
suggestion.
go ahead.
What I can do is all day on Friday, I can call every single person to reconfirm and check their measurements. Then I could send an email to everyone if that sounds feasible.
So, okay, we have a motion on the table. Let's vote on the motion. I'm gonna make a second motion that if Plan D, if they don't fit, then we'll go with Plan D on the original and see if that passes. And then that way we at least have a contingency. If Eric goes out and measures and with you, Marina, and find out that we can't fit the trucks out there, at least we know that we voted on a plan that will, and the Christmas parade can continue, and then we don't have to deal with this again. In that case, you can call people on Friday to say this is the plan, one way or another. So let's vote on Eric's motion, which is to have the Christmas parade at the Tanger outlet, working with Eric Prue from the Tanger outlets and using the back parking lot, and having a drive-through, reverse Christmas parade, I guess is what they call it. Am I correct in the motion?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion? Roll call vote. Eric?
Pyra, yes.
Fogg, yes.
Constantino, yes. The motion passes. I will make a motion that in the event that is not feasible, where the floats will not fit in the area where Tanger is allowing us to use, that we will go with a contingency plan and have it downtown, and the parking will be along the main street, the church, the lodge, the high school, wherever the chief can find extra parking, Elm Grove, T-Hop.
You have permission from all those landowners to use their parking lots.
Yeah, we can get permission, Eric. That won't be an issue. We've gotten it in the past. Do I have a second?
Bog second.
Discussion. So that means that,
Uh,
go ahead,
Pat,
Chief. Yep.
I just had a question. If for some reason it did fall back to that second motion, I think it might be easier for us if we maybe had them stage and roll them through downtown in a different place in Union Sanborn, where we wouldn't have to necessarily shut down traffic, but just roll them through downtown, like my example of Tanger outlets to the high school. So everyone would get to see it. I just wouldn't have to put as many people downtown to shut down all the roads. So I'm just trying to toss that out there as a suggestion while that's open.
So you would just have them where? Stage where?
I think it could be that same back parking lot. So if they run out of spaces there, I could give them a police escort from there to the high school and just keep it moving. And it wouldn't take as many people downtown to shut down the road and block all the streets. We would just give them a rolling escort through downtown, and we do those all the time. And I think
Yeah.
it would be easier for us if it was to transition to that second motion.
Yep.
Chief,
This is only a fail-safe thing. I mean, it only last resort if you can't fit the trucks over at Tanger. Go ahead, Pete.
Chief, could you check with the Napoli family? They're parking across from the McDonald's, what looks like a park and ride, but isn't. Could be a good staging area. If you
Yeah,
want,
I do. I have their number too, Peter. I could get a hold of them. I have their cell numbers. I'm sure they'll say yeah. They love the town. And Lowe's would as well. I think any of the businesses will step up if we need a staging area.
I think that would be a great idea. So that would be only if the other motion, uh, if you came up with then please let us know which plan you're going to do. Um, Go ahead, Eric.
I'm concerned because there's other selectmen that are not on this call. Because again, the premise of this call is to decide on Plan C and have the parade at Tanger Outlet, which we have agreed to.
This is a fallback contingency in a parade. If we want the parade to happen, this is what we're talking about the parade. I don't think we're out of line at all, Eric.
Those other two selectmen were against having it downtown.
The other two selectmen, I don't mean to be cold or anything. The other two selectmen aren't here. And also, Jeannie, you want to speak on this? I mean, we are allowed to speak on, we are allowed to have a parameter to which to move within the lines here.
Well, all I can tell you is that after the conversation with um, the Parks Commission on what they agreed to for Tanger, I called through all the stuff last night individually and told them Plan C, and they all felt comfortable with this Plan C, and I think did not feel an urgent need to be on the call because that was what the focus of this call was going to be about. And to Eric's point, two of those selectmen did vote against downtown. So I don't know how they're going to feel about that. And I understand them saying they're not on the call, but I think part of the reason they're not on the call is at least what I led them to believe is we were only talking about planning.
That is, I still fall back on this as a contingency. I don't want to have this not work at Tanger Outlet and not have a plan and then have to come back and say we don't have a Christmas parade because our plan that we set up as Plan C wasn't planned properly and we don't have the necessary room to engage in it to make it happen, and then we don't have a Christmas parade. So either we do something about that or we don't. It's entirely up to the three selectmen that are here now, right here, right now. So we can vote the motion down, and then that will be our answer. If we don't vote the motion down, then that's our answer as well. It's as simple as that. If we don't want to have a contingency plan, that's fine. But if it fails, then we don't have a Christmas. If we can't fit all the floats in that area, then we don't have a Christmas plan, a parade, a reverse Christmas plan. And then our meeting for today is absolutely nil. That's all I'm saying. Any more discussion? Anybody? Call the question. Eric, roll call vote.
Ira, no.
Yes.
Constantino, yes. Motion passes. So we have a contingency if that fails.
I just think that's a bad move because this meeting was brought upon us to use Plan C.
Call
Eric, it's
another
only a
meeting,
bad
Eric.
move. It's only, go ahead, Pete.
Call another meeting. We've had 3. I'll do a 4th, 5th, whatever.
Okay.
I just think
And
it's bad.
is there anything else to come before us? Okay, motion to adjourn?
Do I still need to meet with anybody tonight? Because I'm not going to have any measurements for you, Eric. It's a lot of work to figure this out, and I need time.
I'll meet anyone tonight. I'm available tonight.
Well, what she's saying is she doesn't know the measurements of the trucks that are coming.
No, but we'll know the measurements of the parking spaces and the areas involved, and we can do it that way.
Eric?
Which area?
Eric?
Me, Eric? Or what?
No,
Me, Tate?
Eric Pyra, I do have a wheel, Eric. If you wanted me to meet you down there, I could wheel that off.
That'd be great. Can I meet you there at, I can be there at 6 or I can be there at 6:30.
Whichever works for you. I'm around if you needed me to.
Marina?
Okay.
All right. I'll make it 6:30 just in case I get out of work late. And thank you, Eric Prue, for giving us the space.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. Much
Yeah,
appreciated.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Ira second.
Oh, I'll motion it then, I guess.
I thought that was a motion.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Ira, yes.
Constantino, yes. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice
Thank you,
Thanksgiving.
everyone.